A cabinet minister in Bougainville is furious with the Papua New Guinea government deciding to make a vote on independence and absolute majority instead of the agreed simple majority. Last week, the PNG Minister of Bougainville Affairs, Manasseh Makiba, made a long-awaited and welcomed parliamentary statement on Bougainville's independence referendum, committing to tabling the documents before the end of this year. PNG MPs will be asked in coming years to vote on the independence question based on negotiations over the referendum outcome. But Makiba angered Bougainville by announcing changes to the nature of that vote. Bougainville's Minister of Independence Mission Implementation, Ezekiel Massat, told Don Wiseman what has upset him so much.
The minister's statement has changed a majority from a simple majority to an absolute majority. And we think that it's unfair that we haven't been consulted on the change in terms of the majority to have the matters ratified on the floor of the House. When the matters come before Parliament for ratification, it was agreed by the National Parliament and our House of Representatives that the majority vote would be a simple majority in terms of ratification. Unbeknown to us, the minister and the NEC have gone ahead and through the minister's statement announced that the majority for ratification will be an absolute majority, which is quite a difficult task to achieve. And therefore, we are unhappy about that particular aspect. We think whilst the NEC has the authority to initiate matters that goes before Parliament, it's a matter that should have been run past our side, and we could have that argument of whether it should be a simple majority or an absolute majority. We ran with the simple majority because that was the agreement from the two parliaments.
Now, an absolute majority, that becomes extremely difficult.
It becomes extremely difficult. Whilst I do not intend to speak for the autonomous government at this stage, subject to the Executive Council and the House kicking off on some issues, let me put it quite clearly that whilst we have been happy with progressive Prime Minister, what has transpired in the last National Parliament does not give us any comfort at all that independence will be achieved under Marape as the Prime Minister. The President and the government can make a formal statement later on, but as Minister responsible for independence, what has transpired, what has come out from the Minister and the Prime Minister in the last National Parliament gives us no comfort that we can achieve independence under Marape as the Prime Minister. We have a joint supervisory body that's coming up on the 6th and 7th of July. Hopefully some of these issues can be resolved at the joint supervisory body because they are, in my view, putting as much obstacles in front of Bougainville as possible.
And that joint supervisory body's meeting where?
In Medang, okay. Province.
And what other issues are before it?
The normal drawdown issues, powers and functions, money issues.
Can we talk about the money issues? In terms of what the Minister has recently said in Parliament, talking about the supposedly vast amounts of money that Bougainville's getting, but you're saying next to nothing is coming through from Port Moresby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The national government every year beats its chest in saying Bougainville is getting the largest slice of the national budget. But when you look at it, the funds come trickling in. And I'm talking about the normal appropriations. I'm not talking about the 100 million per year commitment from the Prime Minister for the next 10 years. That's an issue on its own.
You mean that's also money that hasn't been paid?
That hasn't been paid. Now, Don, I also bring you back to an argument about the outstanding restoration and development grant. That's a constitutionally guaranteed funding that the national government is supposed to give to us. There was an argument in terms of what's the correct amount, and it was based on arguments about the formula. Now, the two governments agreed that the United Nations would mediate, and we would accept the ruling from the mediator in terms of the formula. And up to 2018, the mediator, being UN, gave its pronouncement. And up to 2018, the national government owed us 800 million kina up to 2018. Now, it's now 2023. Listen, the amount would have gone past 1 billion kina. And that's the constitutionally guaranteed restoration development grant. So, unfortunately, which money do you want to talk about? Unfortunately, it's been falling short of our expectations. We're having problems with the normal budget. We have problems with Prime Minister's commitments, and we also have problems with the constitutionally guaranteed restoration and development grant.